Hello from Gardening at Dwensa here in Ireland, and today what I'm going to do is unbox these bulbs that have come in the post and then plant some hyacinths and some alliums in the ground outside. So let's get on with it. We have the nice weather here at the moment, which is rare enough so late in the season, and I just want to get on with it before the rain starts. And the first thing I'm going to do is open up this box and see what I've got, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I certainly can't resist last minute bargains, and these bulbs were reduced, hence me buying them in December, which is really far too late for planting out these kind of bulbs, but I think we'll be all right. Well, when I say it's far too late, it's not really far too late, but it's a bit later than advised. Okay, so, oops, oh, they're all little bags, and surprisingly all the bulbs are wrapped individually in little packets, although I only ordered two types, and what I ordered is hyacinth pink pearl and Allium christophii. So I ordered 50 of the allium and 30 of the hyacinths, but let's have a look and just make sure that these bulbs are still firm and good looking despite having been ordered so late. And here we have my hyacinths, which are nicely firm and they're shooting already, so we need to get those into the ground as quickly as possible. And let's have a look at some of the alliums. Now this is a gorgeous allium, quite short stemmed, but it has a really big head that's very architectural and persists for the longest time, and that bulb is rock hard, which is the way you want them. That one's good. First off, I'm going to plant the hyacinths, and what we'll do is we will keep one hyacinth apart, perhaps one that hasn't started sprouting much yet. So this one is good, it's nice and firm, and if you're interested I might propagate this by scooping. So let's put that aside, and the same with one of the alliums. We might do a video on propagating by chipping if you're interested in that. However, keeping focused, we're now going to go and plant these in the ground. And now I'm going to lay out the bulbs in the positions that I want to plant them. And today we're all so decadent, we're very Versailles. We're going to be like Louis XIV and just plant these hyacinths directly in the ground. And you're probably wondering what these two hedgehogs are here for, and the truth is that I positioned them so I would mark where my peonies are planted so I wouldn't dig them up by mistake. And hyacinths shouldn't be planted too close together. We're not planting in a pot now. These are ones that are going to stay longer term in the ground. Now hyacinths need well-drained soil that's moderately fertile. So if you have heavy clay soil, then you'll probably want to put some horticultural grit or such like in your hyacinth hole. Now they need to be planted 4 to 6 inches deep, and I will just excavate this hole now. And they like full sun, so you could get away with planting them in semi-shade for the first year, but if you want them to flower longer term in the same position, then they do need full sun. And that's about deep enough, so we're going to pop our hyacinth into the hole, and down it goes. And I measure the distance with the trowel, which this mark here is about 4 inches. Okay, so we're just going to lightly cover the hyacinth with soil, removing any stones that might by chance be in your soil. My goodness, I have such stony soil, but hopefully you'll have lovely sandy stuff. And then on to the next one. Now these hyacinths will flower magnificently their first year, and what you'll find is that thereafter there will be less flower. So they'll continue to flower, but the flowering will be a little lopsided and not kind of all around the stem. And this is to do with the fact that they've been fed and kind of pumped up so much with whatever fertilizers and light that they've had in the Netherlands. And once they go into the ground, they don't really do that anymore. But you still get a nice show, and you still get the absolutely magnificent fragrance. And I love the hyacinth fragrance. It's the main reason many people buy them. Of course, they're beautiful flowers as well, but the fragrance is amazing. And I tend to buy the white and the pink ones because I don't know, I found that the blue ones had less of a fragrance. And well, that's no good, is it? And there we go, and the rain is just starting, so I think I'm going to take a break now and do the alliums a bit later. But just as an after note in terms of care, to remember to cut off the flower spikes after the plant is flowering, and that will enable the goodness to go into the bulb and give you the best flowers possible for the next year. And also, if you have hyacinths in a glass or indoors or in the greenhouse and you've finished with them this year, then next spring do plant them in your garden if you have any space, because they really are most rewarding. Okay, a break before we get on with the alliums. And today I'm going to plant 50 Allium christophii in this area here. Now it's a bit of an experiment because this is a short stemmed allium, but it has a really big head that's very architectural and lasts for a long time after the flowers have faded. And I thought I might plant them here in among my alstroemeria. Now anyone who's followed the garden in my videos, followed my videos about the garden, will know this area where I have a lot of orange alstroemeria in summer, and it looks fabulous, but it would look even better if we had some allium poking out from in among the orange flowers. Purple and orange, a beautiful combination. And for anyone who's been following my garden on the garden tours and is aware of the map, here's where this spot is in my garden. And the first job, of course, is to lay out the alliums in the positions that I'm going to plant them. And as you can see, I'm dotting them in here among my alstroemeria for that purple and orange fantastic look. And alliums need a well-drained soil, of course, and mine is really quite well drained. But if you have clay soil, then I seriously advise placing some horticultural grit at the base of your hole or mixing it in with your soil. Now I'm digging a hole which is about 4 inches deep, and to place the allium, this is the base, the hairy bit here, and this kind of thing at the top. It looks very like a garlic head, and we'll put that in here and then just cover over with whatever soil that I have around, and that should be fine. And just like hyacinths, alliums need full sun, even more so. Alliums do very well in poor soil and don't need any feeding. Unless, of course, you have the poorest soil of all, then you might try a light liquid feed at some stage during the summer. The flower heads should not be removed because this is part of the attraction of alliums. Their architectural value adds a lot to a border going through the summer. And the leaves are a bit messy, but don't cut them off because that's where the plant is photosynthesizing and gaining all its energy for making flowers next year. And that brings me to the end of this video about planting hyacinth and allium bulbs, which I hope you found useful. And if you have some hyacinths that you're growing in glasses or in the house or greenhouse this year, then perhaps you'll consider planting them out in the garden in spring. I can't wait in spring to see the magnificent display of those very exotic and sumptuous and decadent hyacinths with their heady scent wafting around my garden, and of course the gorgeous alliums too. Okay, that's all for now. Check back for lots more gardening stuff. Bye!